and to make sure that the families felt comfortable, because yes, our clients live with us, but there's an extension, there's their family.
He thrives on the family atmosphere that he's gotten here, with the staff having their own children involved in different things and him being able to be involved in their lives as well.
We enjoy it. We enjoy the family environment, you know, just sitting down to a family-style dinner.
He seems more independent in a way. He seems to take a little more responsibility for himself and what he does.
What are your chores? Tell me what your chores are.
Making lunch.
Making lunch. Okay, what else do you do to help us?
How to cook your dinner.
What else?
People that know Ryan have commented on how much easier it is to understand his speech now, because he had to make himself more clear by living with people that didn't understand and anticipate his needs.
You know what they want even before they're going to ask you. You know that they're thirsty, and for the son or daughter to be able to tell somebody, you know, I'm thirsty now and I'd like to get something to drink, and then we say, well, go help yourself, you know. It really makes, it's a growing spurt for them. I think they really come out of their shell, and they actually grow even further than what the families, I think, were expecting.
It has been an opportunity for him to meet new people and to just be one of the men of the house.
That's right, Bird?
That's right, Bird. Want to say hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Bird.
It's amazing. It's amazing how they make you feel.
For Taylor, things have to go very slowly and very sort of systematically so he can predict what's going to happen. We would come and visit together for a few minutes at a time, just be in the environment, and we did that for a while. Then we'd increase our time and I'd stay with him to, you know, model for the staff how to interact with him and to modify the environment for him as needed.
All right, fish is coming to get me.
The staff were very flexible with us, and I am a busybody, and I'm in here all the time moving things around and saying, well, what is this doing here? So they're very, very flexible with me. Part of my challenge has been letting them do things the way they do them, as long as it's not a problem. When he was living with me and when I'm around him, control for noises, control for, you know, have very calm interactions most of the time. And there have been some staff that he has really, really liked, and they're more boisterous, and you know, he gets a little more excited and a little louder, but he's okay with that, and they're okay with that, and they've been aware enough, you know, they've learned how far they can go before he gets too excited. So it's not my style and I don't prefer it, but it's his relationship with them, and it works. He's been so amazing and grown so much since we moved him here that it doesn't seem like he's stopped developing, if you know what I mean. It seems like I'm just really impressed with every year I look back and say, wow, look at all these things he learned this year. Look at how the changes he's made, you know. It's always kind of positive. Since he's moved here and had different kinds of relationships with a bigger variety of people, he's more flexible. And the staff here has been pretty good about being consistent about certain behaviors, like Taylor likes to greet, and he'll greet somebody 100 times, you know. But since he works with a dozen people who are all saying, remember, you say it one time, you know, now he's learning these skills because he's getting reinforced from a variety of people instead of just, oh, that's mom. You know, that's what mom says.
Did you have a good day at work?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you do? Shredded paper. That's your favorite, huh? Did you eat a snack there?
Yeah.
All right. Did you put together color wheels?
Yeah.
He works working and he enjoys that a lot. He's very proud of it, and he talks about the people who are there.
Poke the middle out. Peekaboo.
Everybody knows the people that I don't know him, and he has conversations with people there. And so, you know, he does a lot just out in the world.
We had fun at the picnic. Oh boy.
Hi, Kathy Leslie Main. Are you doing great? Yes, you are, and I like that. Makes me happy. Thank you.
It was a sudden decision. It was not one that we said we're going to sign up for something so in 5 years down the road we can put her in this home. Well, I had investigated different homes before this in Corvallis. I had gone and visited some, and of course I didn't want to let her go, so I wasn't impressed. And I didn't stay long enough to really learn about them and to see what they were like. We were very fortunate to be able to have found this on the spur of the moment, because you just don't really do that. And to have her accept it too.
What speed?
In a small group home, you actually get a much closer ratio, so that you can almost get one-on-one care, at least certain times of the day, which is really helpful.
I just remember when we first came, the people, and brought her that night, the people said, "Oh, we'll take such good care of her. Don't worry. Go home and don't worry about it." And they were just so kind that I did feel comfortable about it. And she wasn't fighting it either. And that made a big difference. If she'd been hanging on me sobbing, I might have a harder time to have done that. But she wasn't.
It's not that you're just dropping a child off, you're actually putting them into a caring facility.
If you feel like this person and they're not going to do every single thing for your child that you do, that's not going to happen. There are other patrons in the home who need their help also. They can't be everywhere at once. And they are willing to try, though. And that willingness is what makes a big difference, I think, in when you find something that you really do come to know and appreciate, that they have a willingness to try to do everything you're doing at home for your child.
I love that I'm actually able to take care of people and make a difference. And I also love the fact that I get to participate in something that actually began in my family. My uncle was developmentally disabled and moved into a group home toward the end of his life and flourished there in a way that he never had at home. He had actually withdrawn into himself, essentially watched TV, and his famous words to me were often, "Go away." When he got into a group home and had social interactions with peers, he started playing basketball. He started running around. I didn't think he was capable of it. I had no idea. And so I get to continue kind of that process and being involved in people's lives and getting to see them flourish in a way they might not be able to with an overworked parent or family member.
These children are not incapable of learning some things. There are things they can learn. And I don't think they always get that in the home. I think that helping them find that in a group home can help that child grow and maybe reach a better potential, a bigger potential than they can in their own home.
Our house was like a hospital
My husband and I were kind of like tag team. We would help take care of her, even through the night. There were so many times where she would have seizures or she would choke, and we would be alerted and get up in the middle of the night. And she needs round-the-clock care.
We have 24-hour nursing, from LPNs to RNs, and we have a nursing supervisor. We do anything for her that she couldn't do for herself, which is just about everything.
The training that they have to have in order to work in a facility, it's extensive.
There was an opening at Stone Street House, and we said no the first time because I wasn't ready. I just did not want to let go. And then a second opening miraculously came available, and my husband and I sat down, and he goes, you know, Fro, my husband was saying this, we really need to think about this because you're going to be injured, and more importantly, Elise will be injured if, you know, you can't pick her up and an accident happens.
Elise gets a lot of two-person care. When she coughs, we're right there to wipe up any mucus. If she's having a seizure, we have a magnet for her VNS, which is a vagal nerve stimulator. The neurologists and some medical professionals feel that slows down, not stops the seizures. Due to her bones and some other medical issues, she can't be moved with a mechanical lift. She's always a two-person scoop lift, so it takes two people to move her from place to place.
Stone Street was very wonderful to us. I mean, they made sure that we had lots of discussions and meetings about what her care was involved. I brought in lists of things that we did all the time, and they looked at the lists and they incorporated them into their procedures, and they were very open to all of this. They're also very friendly and wanting to make it just right for Elise, just like all of their clients. They want to make sure that they get what they need.
We're a facility, but we also try to be a home. And so just trying to provide that type of atmosphere as well as basic needs and basic needs as well. So.
If I have a question or I have a problem, I bring it up and we discuss it and we get it resolved. I'm not one just to say, oh, I wish this would be because it would be better for Elise. No, if my family's important to me, I want my kids all to have the best.
Ask questions. Ask lots of questions. Don't be afraid to make your point known. You know, if you feel like there's something that's important that we should be doing, then you need to be very vocal about that and not try to worry about upsetting us, stepping on toes, and those kinds of things.
I feel like everybody we've worked with Elise, they take into consideration what I have to say because I've been taking care of her, or my husband. He's been taking care of her. The whole family has, what we say has been listened to, and I felt that they thought it was important and good input. So I appreciate that, people have not just brushed us to the side and say, oh, you're just the parents, you don't know anything. They've really listened to what we've had to say.
Each person's a little different. So we could take very good care of people, but we're not going to give the same type of care at first that the parents were giving until we know their child. Their advice, tutelage, and information is probably the most valuable asset that we have in learning how to take care of someone.
So you also can be as involved as you want. We wanted to go take her someplace. We're willing and happy to do that, and they're willing and happy to let us do that.
Her parents are very involved in her life. They take her to the movies, they take her out to eat, they come here and do her nails and do her hair, take her for walks around this community and other places.
Just because your kids move up and go away doesn't, or they move to a different house like Stone Street, doesn't mean that you don't love them. You can love them just as much as if they were living in your house. You don't have to say goodbye. You're not throwing away the key.
You're not abandoning them. You're providing them with a future so that when you're no longer there, there's a lot of people around who already know them.
Especially in the beginning, I was very nervous about it, and I wouldn't be able to go to sleep at night, and I would just get in my car, pop on over, knock on the door, and say, hi, can I see Elise? And they would say, sure, come on in, she's back in her room, sleeping. And she was just there peacefully sleeping, and I would be okay with that. I'd see her for 5 minutes and go home, and then I could get to sleep.
She would, be scared in the middle of the night and want to come and visit, so. She says that she's much more comfortable now. and she sleeps at night with no worries.